All right, what's going on, everyone? The boys are back. Boys are biggity back. It's been a while. We apologize for the layoff. It's been probably a good eight. I mean, since the season started. So we're on the week 8 now. Been a couple months. Tim, how you been? How you feeling?
Feeling dangerous, biggity back in a biggity spot, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. So we figured we would just kind of go through, talk about the season so far. Maybe touch on every like quick little blurb on each team, and maybe kind of going forward, seeing how things are going, how we're looking out. But first, I mean, big news. Hope we're not spoiling anything to the rest of the BDB, but congrats to Jillian on having the baby. That's huge, baby Lucy. Um, so yeah, congrats, Jillian.
Yeah, congrats to her and her spouse. October 9th, big
Yep,
day.
October 9th, big day. Can't wait for the double party next year. Um, And then a couple other congrats in order. Congrats to Kevin on becoming the third team to 100 wins. Um, we'd like to welcome you. You know the two big shots here with the triple digits before the season. Um, so congrats to Kevin. Always consistent team. These last 4 or 5 years has been on an absolute tear, which we kind of talked about before the season in his preview. And he's even with a kind of an aging roster, and even though he'll kind of look to sell for these past few weeks, he's still winning games. So that's what he does. He wins games. And the opposite side, congrats to Ryan on his 100th loss. He really just loves to when he starts the season 0-2, 0-3, he loves a good panic and kind of letting that thing torpedo into an 8-10 loss season. And I hope that's not the case this year. Maybe he turns it around, but we'll see. What do you um what do you say, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, no surprise that he's at his 100th loss. Like you said, it's pretty much every season starts out 0-2, behind the eight ball, and immediately panics, looks to tank. Can't tank anymore because we changed the rules.
Yep.
Can't tank because he doesn't have his picks. He's
Yep.
just in a tough spot, man.
Do you think there's a world Hermes is at 107 before the season? He has two losses, so he's at 109. So obviously not this year, but how quickly do you think Ryan catches up to Hermes in losses?
Mid-season next year.
That's fair. That's fair. Hermes definitely he's got a strong team, which we'll get into, and looks like a team that will probably compete for the next couple of years. And unless Ryan makes some big moves, think he's on opposite trajectory. So yeah, I would have to agree with that. Maybe mid to late season next year. Um, all right. So where'd you want to take it from here again?
I think we got a voice memo, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. That's right. I don't want this to be all about Ryan, but we get a concerning memo from an
And
owner.
and I think maybe we need to give some
Actually,
context
sorry.
to it.
Yep.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
So Ryan has been alleged to send Rashid texts all throughout the season. One
DMs.
about one about Rashid's players and how his players weren't very good, and that Ryan's players were better. And then another one after a heartbreaking loss last week where Rashid didn't start Kyle Pitts. Um, And unfortunately, Ryan texted him right away saying should have started Kyle Pitts because George Kittle put up no points. Mind you, this is coming from the individual who's in last place, who is on paternity leave right now. Kind of surprising, maybe a low blow. Really just a tough look for Ryan, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get it. If it's not the season's not going your way, you guess you gotta get your wins some way. And if your wins are reminding people that they started the wrong players, then that's how you get your wins. I mean, I guess I respect it in a way. But with that being said, Rashid did have some complaints, and Tim added some good context to it. So we'll play this. Tim, let me know if it's
Oh,
hello.
don't even know where to begin with Ryan, honestly, because it comes down to it where it's either generational hating or he just has terrible, terrible takes. Now, with Kyle Pitts, we know it's been up and down with him, but no one reminds me more than this boy Ryan. Ryan, no matter what it is on Twitter, he's sending it to me. He's berating me, heckling me, harassment, high key harassment. when it comes to Kyle Pitts, always reminding me of the downfalls, but never talking about when he was up. But hey, it is what it is. This is the same man that said, and I quote, Roman Wilson might have a better year than DK. This is
Still a
what
lot
we're
of
dealing
time.
with on a week to week basis. This is the type of fantasy minds that we're having in the league. But the record may reflect the mental fortitude of what's been going on here. Overall, yeah, Ryan, he might need to get back to the drawing board, especially with the record he has and no picks or assets. I mean, he should be the last one sending me any more Kyle Pitts or anyone on my team's memes via Twitter.
Yeah, so appreciate Rashid sending that over to us. Giving some context on just how toxic maybe Ryan can be at times. Like you say, he's probably not sleeping a ton. He's got Samuel, he's got the newborn. So, maybe he's just agitated. I know the toxic levels can rise at times like that. Not that I've ever experienced it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you have to say? What do you have to say? What do you have to say about that, Tim?
It's diabolical, and I think what Rashid doesn't mention is maybe the league office needs to start looking at taking discipline on his team.
Yeah, it's fair because I mean we don't want to have like this toxic kind of league. Maybe we start kind of like Bounty Gate with the Saints. Maybe the league came down on the Saints a little too hard initially, just to really stop the other teams from doing it. Maybe if we come down on Ryan pretty hard initially, it'll kind of discourage other owners from being so toxic throughout the weeks.
I think it's fair. I don't think that a one game roster lock is out of the question at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a fair point. Or that's reasonable, I think. I think that would really, teach him something. So we will discuss that. The board of directors will discuss that and maybe you'll hear from the league offices sometime soon. Um,
BOD's
eh,
got to talk about something.
anything else on Ryan's toxic levels?
No, I think we hit on it.
Yeah.
I think we're good to go and get rolling on the pod here.
Yeah, honestly, feel free to. That was the only voice memo we got, which we appreciate from Rashid. But throughout the season, if anyone just has stuff to get off their chest and want to air it out, we're happy to play stuff and react to it. All right, so yeah, I think we're gonna go right into the league standings, right? Kind of just go down the league standings. Like I said, talk about each team, how their season's going, what their kind of look ahead is, and kind of go from there.
Let me pull this up for us.
We might get some live Thursday night football reactions too.
All right, you want to start with Ryan?
Um, No, let's start from the top. We'll finish with Ryan. Finish him, which I believe is Hermes. No, it's a little weird. Um, yeah, I mean, I can fire right off with Hermes here. I mean, I think the biggest thing is JT, right? JT's bounced back into like the RB1 probably by far. I think he had his third three touchdown game of the season last week, which is just ridiculous. Just the complete opposite of what probably people were thinking going into the year, where you think maybe this Colts offense is going to be a little too anemic to produce a good running back, even though I mean they've had the good offensive line in place, but thoughts were that they would be held back by quarterback play, and that just has not been the case at all. And he's been a fucking monster. So I think he's the RB1 by a decent margin. Maybe McCaffrey's close, but I would guess in half PPR it's got to be JT.
He's RB1 and he's overall the second best player in fantasy right now. He's averaging 23.96 points a game and he has 10 touchdowns on the season so far.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure his over under in touchdowns on the year was 7 or 8, so he smoked that not even halfway through the season. Yeah, if he keeps that up, a weak schedule, I mean, he can flirt with 20, 22 touchdowns in the year. Um, And I mean, having JT and then just having Jacobs, who I know hasn't been fantastic, but just having Jacobs as your RB2, it feels like he still scores every game. Maybe he hasn't been as efficient as some years, but he's still getting you top 10 starts each week.
So the 6 games that Josh Jacobs has played, because they've already had their bye, 3 of them he was a top 10 back.
Yep.
RB7 on the year. He's averaging 19 and a half points a game. He has 8 touchdowns on the season. So another just monster for him.
Yeah, so you got two RB1s basically
Yep.
going, and like you said, he already has bye week too, so don't even have to worry about that later on the season. Yeah, Hermes has been killing it. He's got the most points for by far. Maybe not by far, but a decent chunk. I think everyone else is kind of bunched up in the middle there, and he's the only one that's clear of that 900 mark. Um, so he's been absolutely killing it. I know the Lad trade hasn't necessarily worked out for him, but I think like Vlad's been playing better the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And I would expect him to be a solid wide receiver too, for the rest of the year. And
And
then
I,
go
I
ahead.
think I think the logjam for Lad is like a this year problem. Where
You're right.
obviously Keenan's probably gone next year, and it clears out a little more for him to be a dominant wide receiver too.
Yep. Man, not for just because he's not in the lineup right now, almost missed him. But I mean, Ross St. Brown has been obviously a monster as well, and so he's got that like stud wide receiver one. He's got the two stud running backs, and he's doing all of this with Terry McLaurin missing basically the whole season, and Brock Bowers missing the entire season. So
Yep.
the fact that he's been able to manage 5-2, maybe he gets back. I think he's going to get Bowers and McLaurin back this week, or Bowers might be able to buy this week. But still, rest of the season, trying to just keep chugging away. Um, so yeah, and he's found a solid rookie tight end there. He was the one that got Tez Johnson. So he's making moves this year. He wants that first championship. I think he can taste it, and I expect him to be compete for the top of the division. And definitely be a playoff team going forward.
Des Johnson was a lot, huh? 157.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I get it though. There's not like it's definitely you can definitely kind of feel it. There's less waivers to be throwing your money around anyways. So if you see a guy you like, who knows when I mean, obviously Evans is out a while. Who knows if Godwin's going to come back 100%? He could be the wide receiver too there, for the rest of the year. So he might just picked up himself a stud. Um, but yeah, congrats to Hermes on the start of the season. Let's see if he can finish strong, get to the maybe double-digit wins.
Jill's the second team, right? Looking at this.
Yep, yep. Looks like she's got 10 points on Carney. Do you want to start? You want to start with Jill? You want
Let
to keep
me
rolling?
go ahead and keep rolling. Let me pull up her team.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jill, she's just has so much depth. I mean, the biggest thing, obviously, is not in this immediate screenshot, but making that massive trade for JSN, which looks like a huge home run for her right now. Um, JSN is definitely, not definitely, I'm assuming he's the wide receiver one on the year. He's leading the league in yards by a decent margin. Yeah, I mean, he's cleared 100 yards basically every game besides one. Flirted with it the other games. He's a stud. People were a little skeptical maybe, being a true number one receiver with DK gone, but he has stepped up to the plate and he's only 23 years old. You expect him to be a stud for a little while. Him and Sam Darnold have definitely clicked right away, which has been good to see. So he's kind of been carrying the team. Achan has been doing his thing. Obviously a little bit of concern there with Miami's offense just being like so bad. Who knows what they do like back half of the season? Maybe they try to just work it with a lost season. Maybe they try to work in some other guys. Um, and kind of like how Hermes has missed his guys. I know Barkley's obviously been playing, but Barkley hasn't lived up to his RB1 status. So if he turns things around second half of the year, then all of a sudden she's looking at an insane roster. Um, so yeah, Mahomes has been a stud this year. He kind of got back to his ways of being like a top five quarterback. Um, And I didn't realize, wow, she's got the KC offense basically in there,
Yeah.
with Worthy, Brown, and Kelsey. I expect Worthy to kind of get it going. Kelsey, it is I mean, I feel you're going to get the random touchdown game, 50-yard games. Some games you're going to get just 40 yards. You kind of take it. And he's been solid enough, especially from the tight end position.
Yep.
Um, again, they're going to be in, and he's tight end six, so you can't complain about that. Um, yeah, she's got a good roster going forward. Trey Benson will be back at some point, I believe. Charbonnet, I think you would expect a little bit more from Charbonnet, kind of, but that backfield's just been kind of weird. No one's really stepped up. And then Garrett Wilson's he's been solid, but um, actually he's been more than solid. Wow, he's actually the wide receiver 13 on the year. And that's with missing some time and missing last week. So he's been good when he plays, but again, that quarterback situation is just a little too iffy for me. Just probably expecting a little bit more out of Tracy and Andrews. So the fact that she's managed 5-2 with maybe a couple guys underachieving, I would say on her roster, has been impressive and kind of is just a testament to the depth on her team.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
don't know. No, I don't know that you left much more for me to say, man.
yeah, sorry. I just realized. Yeah, I'll let you take the next one.
No, I appreciate it. All right, so somehow Carney is also 5-2.
Yeah, this is
Essentially,
amazing. Hand up,
I
Barb. Hand up from us. I mean, we should have doubted him. We were putting them together. We were predicting 10th place, last place. But sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean this has been the last 4 years for him, where he's had a great year, and then he's had the worst pick, and then a great year, and the worst pick, and here he is again, great year. Let me go to Carney's team here. So obviously you
Yep,
got Josh Allen's, George Pickens with CeeDee Lamb missing time was huge.
huge.
George Pickens is putting up about 16 and a half points per game, and that's including like a couple of weeks early in the year where he didn't have great weeks. Actually, sorry, just really the first week.
Yep.
So week one, he had 4.5 points. Other than that, he's pretty much been a top 15 wide receiver outside of last week.
Hmm.
And last week, he put up 10.2 points. Ferguson, this feels like the most Carney player of all time. Like, guy has never scored touchdowns in his career. And all of a sudden, he's putting up touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, he's been insane. Like not even just like small games. He's getting 15, 18, 20 point games some weeks.
Yeah.
Um, he's a
He
tight end one.
he's a tight end one overall, the 38th player in fantasy. Um, Outside of 2 weeks, he has been a top five tight end. And one of the weeks that he wasn't a top five tight end, he scored 10.8 points.
Yep.
I guess going down the lineup here, Jalen Warren has put up
Yeah, he's
I'd say,
been awesome.
yeah, some pretty strong games. Really surprised that he's controlled that backfield as much as he has. If you're Carney, you got to feel good because he signed that extension as well.
Yeah, yeah, he that was another move where we were kind of laughing, like, oh, he gave up a second round pick for Jalen Warren. I'm sure Jalen Warren could go for a second round pick right now.
Yep.
So,
And
he's got to
speaking of
be happy
mid,
with that move.
yeah, speaking of mid round picks, Jack, here we go. Devonta Smith,
True. Trade got him for a third round pick. People forget.
wide receiver 14 on the year. He's had a couple of big spike weeks. He's averaging 11.6 points a game. And then Ramondre is kind of doing his thing as well for Carney.
Yeah, just been rock solid.
Yeah, are
There are a
we
couple dud
missing?
weeks. I
Are we?
mean, no, I mean DJ Moore's been a little disappointing. ETN has been and Jetty too. And you have those. Obviously, you had the big week, but a couple games, 3 games under 7 points is not ideal for a guy you probably thought was going to be your RB1 going into the year. And then definitely worth shouting out Travis Etienne. I know he's kind of fallen off a little bit from his hot start, but still the 15th overall running back on the season. And
Yep.
I don't know if you were expecting that coming into the year. So the fact that he won the backfield was huge for Carney and having his backup in Tutton, who's also looked good when he gets the chance.
Yeah, and this was, I mean, we talked about this 3 months ago where we had Brian Robinson, Ramondre, and ETN, and I think all of them we had as
Stevenson,
yellows.
yeah.
Stevenson as well. All of them we had as yellows. And I mean, three of them have panned out.
Yeah, I think we even said that. I think we were like, hey, if one or two of these guys step up, then it's a different story, and it has been.
Yeah,
So yeah, shout out to Carney. Good job by Fantasy Pros. Um,
And I'd say probably some content for a later pod, but Ashton Genty, you still taking him? Let's say you had 101. You still take him at 101?
uh, that's a tough question.
RB12, RB12 on the season.
Yeah, but I mean, I know it's yeah, you still have the week, but that's a very big outlier, 32 points. That has definitely boosted him up.
Yep.
Um, I probably do, but it's hard. That's hard, right off the bat. Um, so I've liked how Hampton looked, but then obviously he snaps the ankle. And there's been a few other just absolute studs as well.
Yep.
I mean, the one thing I want to still don't understand from Carney, he's got two kickers. I mean, two defenses is one thing, but he's got two kickers on the team. What are we doing?
Hey, he's got depth.
He's got depth.
What are these kickers? Okay.
The kicker's not even
Cam
good.
Cam Little is the kicker of 27 on the
Yeah,
season.
okay. All right,
What
next team. Next team.
what are we doing?
Congrats on the 5 wins, Corey.
All right. Who would be next here? I think this is you, Jack, right?
Believe so.
All right. So respect Gus. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make it quick. I don't want to blow myself too much, but I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for my draft and the rookies, I think I'd be having a pretty tough season. A lot of the guys that I thought were absolute studs on my team that kind of let me down, like Brian Thomas, Nico Collins has been. I mean, he's been fine, but that offense and Stroud and the O-line has kind of just held him back. It feels like. Same thing with Chase Brown. Um, hasn't really lived up to his expectations. And then Bucky, obviously getting hurt, has been tough. But I mean, I can't complain. Judkins, Warren, and Buka are like everyday starters for me now, and they've really been carrying my team. Um, Tucker Kraft taking that next step has been nice too. And same thing with Herbert. Herbert's kind of been like I think he's been the top five quarterback. They might have had their bye week, so I'd like to see
He,
his per game.
he's the seventh quarterback right now.
Okay. They actually haven't had their bye week, but still, I would happily go into the season. Quarterback was definitely one of my question marks. So
Yep.
the fact that I have a top 10 quarterback as of right now has been a big boost for my team. So yeah, I'm still a little skeptical just because you don't know if the rookies hit a wall at some point. Um, and some of these other guys in my team just haven't really been stepping up, but I've been pretty happy with how my roster's come together.
No, I think you nailed it. Those three rookies, Ibuka, Judkins, and Warren, have been absolute studs.
Yeah, and
Um,
Hampton he was getting starting to like do his thing. Unfortunately, when Najee went down, but so that was a little unfortunate. But it is what it is. It's gonna happen.
how did you get Judkins?
Oh, funny you say that. I actually got Judkins from trading Kamara last year for Ryan's two first round picks. So he finished with the 1.07, and I was able to grab Judkins with the 1.07. And then he turned around and scored three touchdowns on him last weekend. So that was nice. That was a good touch.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good feeling.
And Tyler Warren, I think this might have been the Carney pick. Is that right?
True. I mean, I guess if you want to look at it that way, it's basically Jalen Warren for Tyler Warren. So as much as I would say Carney definitely did well with getting a nice running back with a second round pick, I'd still obviously take the pick and Warren.
Yeah.
He's been a stud.
Yeah. And Tyler Warren right now, number three tight end on the season, overall, the 49th player in fantasy. He's had a bunch of top five games.
Just so consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's never has duds.
he scored three straight weeks.
Yeah, love it.
And I even Tucker Kraft. I know I reached out to you prior to me making the Derrick Henry fumble trade about getting Tucker Kraft.
Yeah,
You were holding on tight.
hold on tight because I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be looking for bigger fish, I would say, than kind of just dumping them. I almost want to like. I think I have enough guys, or maybe I can make a package for tier up a player, and I think Kraft would be a nice attachment to someone. But yeah, I'm happy to just hold on to him. What is this about? Big game last week.
Big game last week. Huge game. Did
So
we
yeah,
miss?
no, and Matthew Golden's been. I think he's due to break out. I would actually like to get him in my lineup this week, but I'm struggling to figure out which guy to pull off. I feel like I just have rock solid like Shakir. If I need to play him in a spot, I can. Kincaid even has been solid.
Yep.
And I mean, not, some of these receivers, they're never going to see the lineup this year, but just nice holds for the future.
Yeah. No, I said it week one while the guys were over here. This roster is scary to me, and I think that trio of rookies that we talked about. I mean, we'll do it in the later pod of a redraft.
Yeah,
I think all three of those guys are top five picks all day.
yeah, agreed. I'm excited for the future and kind of just holding on to letting these rookies grow into their roles and hopefully really seriously competing in a few years. All
All right, you
right.
got anything else on that?
No, ready to jump over to, I believe, Kevin's team.
Yeah,
So I'll let you kind of take the wheels.
I feel like we got to start with Scat, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean Kevin trading George Kittle for, and I know I said this in our text message, um, but trading for a fourth round running back going to the New York Giants in a timeshare, and he's really panned out for him. Just pull this up quickly. Obviously, week one he was just getting started, but he's a running back eight on the season, 27 player in fantasy right now. So I feel like you got to feel great about that pick. That's a really gutsy pick to me. The fact that he traded back up to get into,
100%.
yeah,
I mean, he knew he needed to get younger at the running back position and his team in general. So yeah, you're right. He made a gutsy move, and it has paid off big time. Just how talented he was probably always gonna take over. But obviously, Tyron Tracy getting hurt sped it up a little bit. But still, I think it was kind of just the end. It was always gonna be the end result. Keenan Allen's been huge. I see you're clicking on him right now.
a wide receiver eight on the year.
Wow, that's amazing.
And Rico, can't forget about Rico.
Can't forget about Rico. It was probably thought about as a throw-in in your guys' trade as it won him a few matchups, I believe. I mean, getting back-to-back
Monster games.
30-point games for Rico Dowdle is
Unbelievable.
insane. And I mean, I know Chuba came back and um they basically split last week. But he was the much more efficient back compared to
Yeah.
Chuba and still managed 10 points. So I would expect him to get a few more looks against a pretty surprisingly soft Buffalo run defense to start the year.
Yeah. And I mean, it's got to be like a minimum of 50-50 split going forward in that
Oh yeah.
backfield.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Agreed.
Kevin at least has a flex player.
100%.
Baker and Jalen Hurts. I don't know too much about how Baker's doing. QB8 right now.
Yeah, he's been killing it. Hurts obviously can plug and play. And he's grabbed Dak like late in our draft, maybe even during the comp picks.
Yep.
So I don't know, that's almost like yeah, he's been killing it. I mean,
Yeah, that's crazy.
he's quarterback 2 on the season. That must honestly be that might be the toughest part for him is deciding which one of those three guys to play each week.
And
You know,
take one. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the bench has always kind of looked even coming into the season looked kind of thin. It still does, I would say, for Kev. And I think he knows that. He probably knows he's not gonna fully compete. Obviously, if it breaks right, maybe Mixon comes back at some point. Um, if the pieces kind of break right for him, he could make a run at it. But I think he's looking to be he might be looking to be a seller. I mean, obviously he made the massive move with you, which maybe if you want to touch upon now or when we get to your team, because obviously we haven't had a chance to hop on the pod and talk about it.
Yeah,
Um,
let's table that. I'm not ready to talk about that just yet.
okay,
I'm still hurting.
it's fair.
Um, all right, I think we got time for one more, and then we're gonna have to break it up into two.
Okay.
So I think that brings us over to Sheed.
Yep.
Rashid 3-4 right now. Obviously, Lamar's been injured for him, so it's been a tough start.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up some stats here.
Yeah, he's this it's such a weird team because like you like the team so much looking at it. Like there's so many players you get excited about looking at his team, but
Yeah,
just has not produced for whatever reason.
yeah, and you know what? I feel like a lot of teams have a lot of spike players that we've gone over. This is where we're starting to see more of a middle ground.
Yep.
Um, Rome scoring about 13 points a game, Metcalf scoring about 13 points a game, Sutton 12 points a game. Olave, who I've written off completely, 12 points a game.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're all, I mean, Olave's been pretty consistent, surprisingly, probably the most consistent one. But I feel like with a lot of those like 12 to 15 point per gamers, it's usually like they'll have a 20-point week, and then the next week they'll have
Yeah.
like a 4-point week. So you're gonna lose a lot if they start stacking up 4-point weeks with a couple guys. Then you're gonna be losing those weeks.
And I'd hate to say it, but kind of the opposite of Carney to an extent, with his running backs here, especially obviously Brees
Yeah.
and K9. Brees obviously in a bad situation. If you're Rashid, you hope that he gets dealt
Oh
deadline,
yeah. You're praying.
and then
No touchdowns on the year. That's insane. I know that
that
offense
is
has been
crazy.
bad, but it's still crazy.
And Kenneth Walker, I mean, I'd say outside of 3 games, basically every other start you can't start him.
Just so strange because like he looked good those I mean obviously week one the stats don't look good but then he just kills it in Pittsburgh. Um Tough game against New Orleans but solid efficiency the next couple weeks and I don't know it's just that's it's weird how they've been splitting up that backfield. It's confusing. I'm sure Rashid's been frustrated watching that.
And what doesn't make sense to me is them. I don't know the rumors about Devon Achan going to Seattle too.
That would be insane, right?
Yeah,
What are
yeah,
we doing? What? Yeah, that's got to be just some beat reporter rumor. He
that
still
being
has a stud though.
yeah, Gibbs last week. I mean, even though he lost by just a couple of points, Gibbs. I mean, put him in a position to capitalize. Um, I feel like Gibbs is everything you want in a running back.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, he's carried him. I wouldn't say carried him to wins, but him and Puka, obviously Puka got hurt. Those are two absolute studs. And you can make a case for like the dynasty RB1 and wide receiver one. Um, I know Puka gets hurt a decent amount, so maybe that's a little bit of a knock on him compared to like Jefferson and Chase, but he's a stud when he's out there. Um,
I'm going to
so
bring up Kayshon Boutte too.
okay,
I don't know. I really thought that this Patriots wide receiver room was wide open at the start of the year. I don't think that Diggs is the answer, especially long term.
yeah.
Uh, Booty is young. He's had some big spike games, and he's been on the field.
Yeah, I'm
So
surprised he hasn't getting more targets, honestly. Like you see the 3 to 2
yeah,
targets a game, basically. I mean, the week he did get 8 targets, he had 100 yards. So yeah, maybe they do work him into the offense a little bit more as the season goes on.
is there anyone else that we're missing here?
I mean, obviously he's been missing Kittle. Pitts has filled in. Has okay season. Nothing spectacular,
Yep.
but so yeah, George Kittle. Hopefully, I think he comes back strong. Puka comes back strong too. So I would look for him to kind of get back to at least 500 and make a push for that 5, 4, 4, 5, 6 seeds.
Yeah, I think he's right there. Sorry. Anything else we want to talk about on Rashid's team?
No, I think I know he put yard sale 5.0. I'd be surprised if he yard sales any of these guys, unless he got like a juicy offer.
Yeah, I feel like this year it's pretty wide open. All
We
right.
get time for one more. We have 5 minutes, or you want to show you
Let's do one more. So who do we got after Ruff?
rough?
All right. I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, so Ruff's had a pretty solid start to his year. I think he was even pretty down on his team going into the year. So the fact that he's managed to get 3 wins to start the year gives him a chance to make a playoff run and chase down that 6 seed. And here you go. This is a stud. He has his pop off weeks. I mean, 3 games over 25 points, 4 over 20. Getting Flacco has been huge for him.
Yep.
Um, so he's just gonna keep getting pepper targets, and the weeks that he has 25, 30 points, he's gonna give him a chance. And these like RB2s that he's had have really stepped up with Swift and obviously Bucky getting hurt. Rashad White's been playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swift a couple huge weeks back to back.
I feel like no matter what, he just winds up like he finds up finding a running back every year.
Yeah,
Um, Another one too, huge.
that's been huge.
Yeah. top 10 wide receiver. Kind of died down lately, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he's put
still,
up
he
some
was
big
banged
weeks.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 10 on the year. That's been a huge find for him. And going along with Devontae Adams too, they almost has like a solid trio of receivers again. Um, a couple like low key plays. The fact that he got Brashard Smith has been looks like that might pan out for him. I know he's been getting a lot more looks for KC. I'm sure his snap percentage is gone. It still isn't crazy, but he's still at 35% last week. Had 14, I think I said 14 rushes and 5 catches. So I mean, 19 touches last week. They're definitely getting him more involved as the season goes on.
Yep.
And yeah, a couple other young bulls. I know Chuba has been a little disappointing, but um, that was due to injury slash, Rico obviously has looked great. I like the Isaiah Davis pickup by him too. I don't know if he had him on his team beforehand or if he acquired him, but let's say I know the stats don't look great, but I mean I think he's the only running back on the roster if they trade Brees Hall. So if they end up trading Brees Hall, he could have a starting running back on his hands, 23
Yep.
years old. And then the receivers too. That Tennessee receiver has been okay. I know that offense has just stunk, so it's been hard for him to get going, but he's at least getting looks and getting involved.
He's on the
Um,
field.
yeah. And yeah, I mentioned Devontae Adams. He's been a stud too. And Debo's kind of being rejuvenated in Washington, which I know you predicted. I was a little bit more down on Debo, but he's been awesome, especially with Terry McLaurin being out. He's really stepped up, kind of got back to his old ways.
Yep. I think Travis Hunter, I don't know if it was just last week. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it was just last week.
Still though,
Uh,
14 targets.
yeah, you
That's
hope to
huge.
see him get more involved and maybe they just start rolling him just on offense and sprinkle him in on defense here and there.
Yep. And we mentioned Colson Loveland in the beginning of the year. We always thought that was going to be more of a long-term play.
Yep.
I know you would definitely have liked more than this to see more than this, but he's still just 21 years old, so I wouldn't panic on him yet. So yeah,
All right.
I think Ruff's got a solid team. I think he could win any week with his studs, and he's just got. We'll see. His quarterback play has been awful. His tight end play hasn't been
Yeah.
great. Schultz and Goddard is probably just not enough with a 10 team league and some other teams having just like these massive weeks from tight ends. So let's see. Maybe Purdy gives him 16, 17 points a game. So that's kind of what he needs at this point.
Is it time to cut bait with Gino?
I think so. I think he dials up Kevin's line and tries to get one of the quarterbacks, whether it be Baker Mayfield or trade a little bit more to get Jalen Hurts. Um, because I'm sure Kevin wants to get some value from one of those quarterbacks as well, not just roster three of them.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a move that could make a lot of sense.
All right.
Um, yeah.
Less than a minute here, so we're gonna
Yep.
cut this off and then we're gonna finish up the rest of the rosters.
Awesome. We'll see you in a few.
I can't end the recording.
GG.
GG.